This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. Republicans seem to be perpetually working in overtime to whip up a new culture war, a new element to divide Americans, even if it proves to be false. Usually, it is false, like outright false, not even like some grain of truth that they exaggerate. And critical race theory is another one of these culture war items. Remember years ago when it was the war on Christmas? Oh, so scary. Because some people chose to say happy holidays because there are other holidays around the Christmas season. You got Thanksgiving, you have Christmas, you have New Year, you have Hanukkah. There are other faith traditions in the United States. And Republicans made the war on Christmas so scary something to talk about. Well, the latest one is critical race theory, again. And critical race theory is not being taught in elementary schools. That is not a thing. It is a highly complex legal theory that is taught in law school. It's not something you teach elementary kids because adults, as we're going to find out, have a hard time even wrapping their brains around it. And it has become a focal point in today's election in Virginia. Today, November 2nd, is the gubernatorial election day against Glenn Youngkin versus Terry McAuliffe. And Glenn Youngkin has done a hell of a job to make certain that critical race theory is front and center. There is a group of individuals who run a Twitter account called The Good Liars, and they have a TikTok, and they do great work. A fantastic group of gentlemen. I don't know them, but I do see their work from time to time. And there's a short clip of them talking to a Republican Virginia voter about the number one issue facing Virginia right now. And it is what is animating him to vote Republican, animating him to vote for Glenn Youngkin, the Republican Trump loving candidate for Virginia governor. Watch this remarkable clip, less than a minute, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
What's the most important issue in the governor's race here in Virginia?
Getting back to the basics of teaching children, not teaching them critical race theory.
And what is critical race theory?
Well, I'm not going to get into the specifics of it because I don't understand it that much, but it's something that what little bit that I know I don't care for.
And what have you heard that you don't
well,
that you
I'm
don't
not,
like?
I'm not going to, I don't have that much knowledge on it, but It's something that I don't care for.
He's not an outlier. He's not an example to be made of some random guy who doesn't understand it. Voters don't know what it is who hate it. They are vehemently opposed to critical race theory for a few different reasons. One of them being that critical race theory has been made the boogeyman. It has been made a culture war focal point for Republicans, starting with Donald Trump, but there are some others. Chris Rufo is to call him a gentleman, I think is a little charitable, but he has really been the tip of the spear for the Republican Party to demonize and make critical race theory into something it is not. Here's a tweet from Chris Rufo. We have successfully frozen their brand, critical race theory, into the public conversation and are steadily driving up negative perceptions. We will eventually turn it toxic as we put all of the various cultural insanities under that brand category. So what they're doing is turning critical race theory into something it is not, and then piling on all of these other things and calling it critical race theory. From his own mouth, from his own fingers. That's what they're doing. And it is working. because in Virginia, it is the top topic. And voters have no idea what it is. All they know is it's bad. It's no good. And Republicans have turned it into the teaching of American history, which includes slavery, genocide of native peoples, all of the bad shit that we've done in America over the course of our hundreds of years. They don't want taught. It is not black history. It is American history. The wrongs that we committed, the evils that we committed as a country, as a nation, to our own people. They don't want that taught. Because to them, somehow that dissolves the theory of American exceptionalism. Every country has its problems. We are certainly not immune. We, too, have committed atrocities. World War II, the internment camps, a Democrat, FDR, sent hundreds of thousands of Japanese Americans into internment/concentration camps. Disgusting. Why would we not teach that? I can tell you why we should teach it. And that is to ensure that it doesn't happen again. Learn from our mistakes. We should all be, even on an individual, personal level, be attempting to become better people day after day after day. And part of that is by learning from the mistakes that we have made. If you're not balancing your checkbook and you overdraw your account, you should learn from that and not do it again. On a personal level. On a national level, when the stakes are much, much higher and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lives hang in the balance, we should absolutely be learning from our mistakes. And that is why we should teach our children the bad parts too. And Republicans do not want that. That's why today, if you're in Virginia and you still haven't made your choice, the choice should be Terry McAuliffe. Is he perfect? No, he is not. But is he Glenn Youngkin? Also, no, he is not. He is not a racist. He is not a Trump bootlicker. He is not a liar about critical race theory. Look, do I think that gentleman is a dummy who was being interviewed? Yeah, he's not very smart. Because if he was, he would get to the bottom of exactly what critical race theory is before demonizing that which he has no understanding. I don't fully grasp all of the legal complexities of critical race theory. It's been taught for decades in law schools. It's an offshoot of critical legal studies or critical legal theory. We're in desperate times as a country that this is what's happening. Well, listen, we've always had low information voters. We've always had people who will just do what politicians say and take their word for it, that it's what's important and it's the most threatening thing facing our children and our families today, whatever it may be. Remember satanic panic of the 80s? Complete nonsense. But people ran away with it. What do you think, though? I'd love to know. Are you in Virginia? Are you going to vote? Have you voted? What's the temperature like in your state? You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. You can also follow me on social media. I'd love to connect with you there. You can yell at me there. Fantastic. And if I bring you a little value, a little information, I would appreciate if you would help support my work. You can help produce my videos here, help produce my podcast by going over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast, or you can click the join button below this video and become a channel member for as little as $1.99 per month. A little bit goes a long, long way if I'm able to marshal the size of my audience and capture 1 or 2% of you who appreciate what I do enough to give me your hard-earned dollars, which I appreciate very much. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.